Welcome to the Arcana podcast. We're happy to share with you the Dharma Dojo lectures. This series is called Dhammapada with Dr. Masaki Matsubara, a 18th generation Zen priest in the Japanese Rinzai tradition. He currently resides in New York City. Enjoy the fourth episode of the Dhammapada.
Let's start with, as usual, but today a little bit shorter meditation, 3 minutes. Straighten your back. Relax your shoulders. Slowly breathe in. And much slowly breathe out. Slowly breathe in. Even much more slowly breathe out. When you exhale all your air completely so that you can inhale naturally. Open your eyes, stretch your arms, stretch your legs, stretch your back, stretch your neck, stretch very well. So today, let me start with a brief review from the last week, especially focusing on idea of meditation. Do you remember in the end of the class last week, we are talking about the meditation expressed in Chinese characters, and especially meditative practice, the Zen meditation. Za means to sit. And I said that Chinese character of za is there are two people on the ground. That is the idea of the Chinese character of za. So let me start with that. Here, I will take an example as the Zen. The Zen means in English, Zen meditation. But But this means this is not, it's not the literal translation of those two characters. Za means to sit. And then Zen means, as you know, Zen. In Chinese Zen is called Chan. Chan. And Chan or Zen is coming from the Sanskrit term, which is dhyana. Dhyana. Dhyana means in nouns, samadhi. Samadhi means high concentration and contemplation and meditation, or sometimes observation. Observation. But in terms of verb, dhyana means to consider or to investigate. So Zen means considering something, investing something in the state of samadhi, or considering something, then attain, reach the state of high contemplation, high meditation, high samadhi, high observation. And this is a little bit separate note, but when we say zazen, particularly please focus on the first character, za. We use that particular Chinese character, za. And now please look at the very bottom of this display. I put another Chinese character, which is called za as well. Some of you might be very familiar to this the Chinese character as well. And some of you might actually like this particular Chinese character rather than the first Chinese character of the. The difference between the two those characters of the Chinese character shown in the very bottom of this display, the, means sitting inside a house or sitting somewhere under a roof. But originally, Zen meditation or Buddhist meditation was held in outside. Think about an early Mahayana or early Buddhist context. There are no temples or such facilities like that. Buddhist practitioners are always practicing meditation outside. So that's why when we say zazen, we use a particular Chinese character of the shown in the top of display. So far, is it clear for you? And then next. And this actually a Buddhist, actually this Buddha as well. This seated meditated Buddha, this looks like a Chinese character of the, right? And now, think about this character the, that means to sit or sitting. And please look at the number one. Number one, that Chinese character means person. So now, this Chinese character the include two persons. And then bottom of the kanji, Chinese character, which is number two, means ground. So the Chinese character the, which means to sit, represents the idea that there are two peoples on the ground. there are two peoples on the ground. That is a literal meaning of Chinese character of za, or sitting. Then think about the idea of zazen. That means, again, there are two people on the ground. And zen means to consider or to investigate in samadhi. So the question is, what those two people consider on the ground in samadhi? That means zazen. Like I mentioned in the last class, those two people are not Masaki and you and Masaki, Masaki and Yoshida-san, Yoshida-san and Suzuki-san. Those two people means you and your true self. Masaki and Masaki's true self. There are two people on the ground, and those two people are having the conversation very deeply. If we think about this actual idea of sitting, sitting itself does not mean meditation. The essence of meditation must be this: having a conversation between you and your true self. That is the essence of meditation. That's why I am addressing always meditation is something, a practice we can do everywhere and anytime. Again, sitting does not mean meditation. Having a conversation between you and your true self means meditation. In that context, Odaimoku truly can be a meditative practice. Walking, that is also a meditative practice. Eating, cleaning, gardening, even talking, working, every single moment can be an opportunity to conduct a meditative practice. Also, every single thing we are doing in our everyday life can be a chance of meditation. And this meaning of Chinese character za, to sit or sitting, that is based on the last element of the eightfold path, light meditation, light concentration. Again, there are two people, you and yourself, true self, having a conversation. That is a true essence of meditative practices. Then let's move on. Today, we will look at right conduct. right conduct sounds like number 4 element of the Eightfold Noble Path. And right conduct are based on, let's say, consist of right actions. I mean, right conduct by body, speech, and mind. Let's look at the Dhammapada 231. Let a man guard himself against irritability in bodily action. Let him be controlled in deed, abandoning bodily misconduct. Let him practice good conduct in deed. And this idea, this line is also bringing the idea, one of the Eightfold Path, right effort. Let's look at the 232. Let a man guard himself against irritability in speech. Let him be controlled in speech, abandoning verbal misconduct. Let him practice good conduct in speech. And this idea is now bringing, I think this is number three, the third element of the Eightfold Path, right speech. Next, 233, let a man guard himself against irritability in thought. Let him be controlled in mind, abandoning mental misconduct. Let him practice good conduct in thought. And this line is bringing right thoughts and also right mindfulness. So here, please remember, please pay attention to the idea that right conduct consists of right conducts by body, speech, and mind. Body, speech, and mind. That is important point to be addressed here. And now, we are working on doing good conduct by body, speech, and mind. And still, Dhammapada is giving us a lot of warnings. Let's look at number 71. Truly, an evil deed committed does not immediately bear fruit. Like a milk that does not turn sour all at once. But smoldering, it follows the full like fire covered by ashes. This is very interesting parable. We usually think, oh, maybe we can do this. Oh, this is very little thing. Maybe he'll be okay even I do this because this is such a small thing. But those small things will be accumulated, and then it's becoming a bad karma. At that very moment, we easy to think, oh, maybe I can do this. It's very little thing. It's ignoring other people's feelings. But even such a very small piece in the end is becoming a big issue. Number 117. Should a person commit evil, let him not do it again and again. Let him not find pleasure therein, for painful is accumulation of evil. If you have done something wrong, something bad, we should reflect on that. And then we should tell ourselves not to do it again. Everyone, it doesn't mean everyone cannot make mistakes. Of course, we will make a mistake. For me, mistake is everywhere, anytime. In fact, I came late to this class today, right? And I will reflect myself, and then I will tell myself, Masaki, you should not do this again. That is very important point to do that. Even we make a mistake, understand it, accept it, and then try to transform it from something negative to something positive. Number 18, should a person do good, let him do it again and again. Let him find pleasure therein. For blissful is accumulation of good. Many of you have the experience that if you do something good for others, you felt very comfortable or you felt very happy, you felt very glad. It's very interesting experience. You are doing something good to others, not for yourself. But that action made you feel very happy. So from this line, actually there is a very important teaching behind it. Try to save, try to help yourself. Then you should save, you should help others. If you do something good for others, that makes you feel comfortable, good, and happy. And that is a way to make yourself happy. That is a way to save you as well. If you have hard time, then try to make something good for others. That is at least I'm doing, actually. If I feel sad, I feel so tough, I felt something difficult to do, something I can't, something I have something I can't control, and I feel very irritated. And always, before try to change myself, because that is very difficult. I try to do something good for others. Then that makes me start to feel good. Then that good feeling will make a gate for me to change myself, to try to change myself. So that is something I'm already doing. And number 165. By oneself is evil done. By oneself is one defiled. By oneself is evil left undone. By oneself is one made pure. Purity and impurity depend on oneself. No one can purify another. I really like the line, purity and impurity depend on oneself. Everyone has these two aspects of purity and impurity. I don't think someone is perfect. There is no such thing like perfect. Everyone has the two aspects of purity and impurity. We try to grow pure part, and we try to reduce our impure part. That's why we are doing practice. That's why we are reading sutras. That's why we are doing meditation. That's why we are doing odaimoku. Ever grows the glory of him who is energetic, mindful, and pure in conduct, discerning, and self-control, righteous, and fearful. Number 25, by effort and heedfulness, discipline, and self-mastery, let the wise one make for himself an island which no flood, no flood can overwhelm. Dhammapada, especially chapter 2, which is most emphasized in the Theravadan Buddhism, Theravadan context, especially the idea of here, number 25, heedfulness. Actually, honest, diligence, hard practice, serious effort, serious devotion. That is very important. We need effort. We need to be diligent. Again and again, everyone makes mistake and mistakes. Everyone has pure and impure aspect. There is no such a man who is perfect. So that's why we need practice. We need to read sutras. We need to learn. We need to train ourselves. And in that training, effort, strong effort, continued effort, diligence are required. This is the first line of the chapter 2 of Dhammapada. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless. Heedlessness is the path to death. The heedful die not. The heedless are as if dead already. The other translation, as I mentioned earlier, this term heedfulness said earnestness or diligence. Here, idea of earnestness or diligence is stressed, emphasized as an important fact of conducting our practice. Earnestness is the path to the deathless. Even this very body in the end will die and is gone. And we can't change that. We can't stop that. Everyone has the same situation under such impermanence. But if we devote ourselves so strongly in any moment for what we are doing, that action influences other people as well. And that influence will be forever continue. Even Buddhist teaching is the same way. Lotus Sutra's idea is the same way. This very body who is teaching or who is doing, who is offering, will be gone in the end. But whether or not his or her teaching or practice will be continued is depend on such a person's strong intention, strong devotion. If we seriously do something, it seems like that does not influence anybody, but that's not right. Someone in the world must be influenced in some point. And that influence will be continued forever. Like Hakuin mentioned as well. Now here Dhammapada mentioned. When we need to do practice, our strong devotion is required in any moment. In any moment. We are, in terms of Eightfold Path, today we are studying number 3, right speech, also right contact. Partly we are talking about right livelihood as well. In terms of Dhammapada's lines, do you have any comment? Or do you agree with those? Or
Reverend Matsubara.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, man, it's always great to hear you. The Dhammapada is pretty short, huh?
It's about it's very short, but it's a lot of contents. About 450 the verses there.
Okay, I had it once and I read through it and I enjoyed it and I ended up giving it to one of my students, but I want to get it again. And as I'm hearing you, I really like the idea of heedfulness, and heedfulness is a cool term.
Yeah, especially it's a very interesting experience I had when I was teaching at the UC Berkeley. I was sharing office with a Theravadan Buddhist, and then suddenly he was asking me, "Are you Masaki? You know Dhammapada, right?" And yeah, sure. So how Japanese Buddhism understand Dhammapada? And then he said to me in ahead, "Oh, if you don't seriously take Dhammapada, you are not a Buddhist." I had a lot of pressure, and then I asked him, especially which chapter, which part you are really focusing on studying in Dhammapada, and he said in Theravadan Buddhist world, second chapter is very important, especially on verse 21. That is the one I showed in the very last. Earnestness, diligence, heedfulness is strongly emphasized when we are chanting, when we are reciting, when we are doing meditation, when we are doing something, even in our daily life, cooking, cleaning, gardening, even talking to others. We really need to devote ourselves into what we are doing. That is important idea of Dhammapada in the chapters 2.
Was that, yeah, that was 21 that you just quoted, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That was I really love that, and that once again, that's affirming. That's an idea that those key ideas that you can take with you are really empowering, and I love that. I'm gonna look at the Dhammapada again.
Yeah, thank you. I really like 21. That's why I put in the very last, so that everyone can remember.
I love that. That was another, and it made my day again. I love that. Thank you very much, Reverend Matsubara. That was killer. I love it.
Especially 21, from my experience, we can find this kind of case everywhere. I mean, anytime in our daily life. The other day, one of my friends who had a very hard time calling me, and he said, "Masaki, do you have 3 minutes to talk?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm calling you very late at night, and thank you for making time." And I said, "Don't worry about that. How are you? How is your family and everything okay?" And he started talk about his difficult experience, and it's like close to 2 o'clock in the morning. I just talking to him. I mean, not talking to him. I just listening to what he was saying. And probably I didn't say anything very, meaningful or something productive, but I just sincerely listening what he said. And then in the end, he was really appreciated. And he said he would never forget what I did last night. I said, what are you talking about? We are friends. And I didn't say anything. I just listening to what you were saying, but he said, no, that really, really seriously, Masaki, you are seriously listening to what I was saying. I really appreciate that. So he said, I thought this is really overlapped with the line 21 in the Dhammapada.
And that was from chapter 2, section number 21 in chapter 2?
Yeah, and chapter 2, Dhammapada chapter 2, which start with line 21.
I'm going to remember that. Thank you.
Do you have a better understanding of the idea of Zazen today? There are two people, the two persons on the ground. And at the time, practitioners are sitting outside. That's why two people are sitting on the ground. And also probably the ground represents the idea of something very stable. It's not on the desk. It's not somewhere unstable. The ground is very stable. That's why on the very stable place, we will focus on our own conversations with our true selves. In terms of having a conversation between you and your true self, when you look at Buddhist text, you might find the idea of finding your Buddha nature. But finding Buddha nature might be sometimes difficult to understand. But they always replace the idea with finding your true self. Finding your true self, who you are. Not just who you are, who you really are. And always think about eightfold path. Eightfold path always start with right, the term right. What does it mean by the right? Which means we need to trust, we need to believe in the idea of causality, cause and effect, dependent origination. And then we need to follow the doctrine of causality, cause and effect, dependent origination. Here, causality, cause and effect, dependent origination includes automatically the idea of impermanence, because causality creates impermanence, right?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Abbot Matsubara, thank you so much. I like when you were saying about being honest with yourself. I think that's a very deep part. And I think you can only be honest if you really understand yourself. But I put it also with the practice. You know, you did mention practice. And, you know, after so many years, there's so many things that I have overcome, should I say, or come into realization. And when you talked about yourself, having communication with yourself, that is really good. I thank you so much about mentioning that when we do our prayer, we are subconsciously also praying and we're also listening to ourselves. But I wanted to share briefly that about, you know, our actions, our influences and everything, and, you know, our body, speech and mind. It's like yesterday I had a very, very, very good experience. I went grocery shopping. So imagine Costco is very busy. And the first thing I did was go to the bank machine and check my balance. Yeah, I'm always aware about money. And so when I was getting ready to leave, as soon as I was entering the cashier area, and my mind popped up and I said, I didn't see my bank card. So I did not panic. And I said, thank you, Buddha. It's something that I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't really following the Eightfold Path in a way. And so as soon as I went out, I talked to the checker and I told her, and to make the story short, my card was picked up by someone, and I found out that it was picked up by an employee. And I shared the Dharma and I said, thank you so much. We have so many wonderful people, because the parking lot was filled, the store was filled. It's Memorial Day weekend. So imagine Hawaii. Everybody is just shopping to get ready to go to their picnic. And I told checker when I left, she said, did you get it? I said, yes, thank you. And I said, this is how the world should be. We should all be helping each other. And she said, you're absolutely right, Auntie. But, you put it out there and, it'll go from one person to another. So I can imagine that they probably discussed it with the employees, because it was an employee that turned in my card. Regardless, even if it was another person, I'm sure that person would have probably turned it in. With this COVID and everything, I think everybody is realizing what life is really about. So just being in good action and good thoughts, the Eightfold Path. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Relax your shoulders. Give me 2 minutes. Straighten your back. Slowly breathe in. Much slowly breathe out. When you exhale all your air completely, as long as your breath lasts. When you are doing this, please recite Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. When you exhale, recite Nam-myoho Renge Kyo as long as your breath lasts. Slowly breathe in. Much slowly breathe out. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. One more time. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Open your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Dhammapada Episode 4. Risho Kosei Kai is a global Buddhist movement to bring peace to our families, communities, and countries into the world by turning our everyday life into Buddhist practice. Please visit our website www.arkina.org to find out more about our upcoming events, classes, and programs. We are a nonprofit organization. Thank you very much for your memberships and donations. Thank you for listening.